Good morning, everybody. It's Vince with Listings to Leads, and we're going to talk today about seller lead gen and Facebook advertising. But I'd like to know, let's see, because I don't recognize everybody on this call. I'd like to know two things, if you could just put it in the chat panel. How long have you been with us? And which of you have run ads on Facebook? And if you ran ads, did you have success? Did you get like one lead? Did you get 50 leads? That's what I'd like to know, because I kind of want to know what you guys know and don't know, because there's a lot of, there are a few mistakes you can make. So if you can let me know how long you've been with us, have you run an ad, and have you got a good amount of leads from running ads, or are you just getting like a couple? So don't be shy. Put that in the chat panel. About a year, never run a Facebook ad. Wow. Okay, Allie, you need to do that. Few months, run ads, yes, for multiple brokers, success, tons and tons, but can't always learn to optimize further. Okay. So you definitely want to have some sort of, CRM, drip campaign going, because not everybody's ready to pull the trigger immediately. Right, this guy David, I got him showing here, ran an ad. I'm going to show you the tool. I'm going to show you how he ran the ad, and he's got over 117 leads, seller leads from Facebook, and 1 to 2 are ready to go. Right, Dave ran an ad and has 1 to 2 leads. That's not a great number for me. Dave, did you require phone number for that, or do you know? Okie doke. So everybody, I can see people logging in. My question is, how long have you been with us? Have you run ads, and have you been able to get leads? Oh, Mike, good to see you back here again. Mike has run, he's been with us a year, 200 leads, none have converted. Yeah, so if you require a phone number, you're gonna get like 1 or 2 leads. That's it. If you don't, depending on how much money you put in, you only get, if you don't, then you can get almost like $1 per lead. You look here at David, spent $157, 117 leads. On average, if you're not aware of this, when you run an ad on Facebook and you're trying to get sellers, not buyers, the average price is about $1 a lead. Okay, so when I train, I usually tell people to spend $30 on the weekend. I'll show you where you put the 30 bucks. And that would mean you'd get about 30 leads, maybe 25, maybe 35, but it's going to stay close to $1 a lead. And so you just want to have that in mind, because if you're looking for listing leads, you want to get good at doing it right, so you're sort of getting your money's worth, and then go, okay, now I can, put in more money and get more leads. Ran ads for Monique, more past recently. Yeah, I would recommend that you get into it. And here's why. This is from April 13th. Here's another client, Cody, 305 seller leads. He wrote this on the 13th of April, but since April 1st, right? So he is spending money on seller lead capture. He is not requiring a phone number. And I want to point out to this, because I hear this, and actually somebody asked it in the mastermind group last week. And I have this conversation minimally twice a week, that I don't want to lead without a phone number, right? They're not serious if they don't give me their phone number. And that's a great thing to say. I just don't think it's true at all. And this guy Cody here is kind of proving it right off the bat, because he's telling us, I got 305 seller leads since April 1st. And I have an ISA who's following these up with these leads. And in 13 days, this guy converted 7 into a listing appointment. And they got 1 listing for $729,000. Now, you could not do that if you required a phone number. And the reason agents tell me they require phone numbers is because they feel like they're not serious if they don't give me their phone number. And Cody is showing us right here that these folks are serious. It's just, who wants to hand out their phone number on the internet, right? If I don't even know who you are. Do you guys do that? I don't. I barely answer my phone, although I have to answer the phone because of work. But, random calls I'm just not into, and I know you're not too either. Let's see. All right. So that's why, and I'm kind of pointing this out because I just want you guys to understand that this is what we see happening all the time. So I got to ask, are you guys all in our mastermind group? Just a yes or no is going to help me out there. And now I'll go into my tools and we'll kind of talk about it. Good, Allie. Keep an eye on the mastermind group. Here's some great things to search in the mastermind group. Stop renting. If you're looking for first-time home buyers, there's a big dialogue for weeks by our clients. And if you do on the search on stop renting, you're going to see it. So let's just hop over there real quick and let's look at my mastermind group. And I can tell you, and the reason why I'm going to even mention this is I'm going to show you the basics, the how tools, right? Where the tools are, what tools you want for seller lead gen. But how you apply them is really the big deal. It's really, there's a right way and the wrong way. And I'm going to show you what I think is the right way. But the thing that really is a major factor in writing a successful ad is what you put in the ad, right? And the way you word it, and if you add things to it, is a big, big, big factor. And you're going to learn faster in this mastermind group than trying to catch me or Scott to tell you, right? There's a little search panel here, and there's a couple big searches I want you to do. Stop renting is one. Because you're going to see that there's a landing page that many of our clients have developed, and they're running ads in the marketplace. So that's another search I want you to do in this box, marketplace. Because does everybody know what the marketplace is? Because the marketplace, yeah. So Mike, you're telling me in one sentence you're interested in dominating a farm. The marketplace is the place where it's an online, like an online garage sale in your market, and people are marketing services. They're marketing open houses. So you want to reach these people. That is one free way of doing it. All right. And I want to point out that marketplace ads are kind of insane. They are new since January 1st. We were on it as soon as it started happening. And the whole point, one, it's free, right? And if you're not taking advantage of it, I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're just not following our mastermind group. But here Angela is saying she ran 2 ads, and she ran the 2 ads, and she has 97 conversations going on. So when we talk about lead gen, we're usually talking about I put a tool out there and somebody fills out a form and Listings to Lead sends me a name and an email. That's what typical lead gen is for us. But when you run a marketplace ad, the responses don't come from us. They come via this chat panel in Facebook. So when Angela here says I ran 2 ads and I had 67 conversations for one ad and 30 for another, that means she was chatting with 97 different people on Facebook. This is a great way of capturing leads. And if you want to learn about stop renting and start owning or marketplace ads, this mastermind group is going to talk to you about it. And it really can be helpful when it comes to seller lead generation. So let's jump into the system and just talk about the typical tools that we're using, right? That people are after. Number one is you go to the landing page section and it's Property Valuation Plus. We have many different landing pages. Custom landing pages for sellers. If you have a custom report you want to give away but you want their contact information, that's for sellers. Empty Nester Plus is for sellers. Growing Family maybe is for sellers, right? We have one somewhere, it's Growing Family. But yeah, Growing Family right here. But Property Valuation Plus is the #1 landing page. So this is how you create it. You click Property Valuation Plus and you click Add Landing Page. And what that will do is that will then bring you to a place and you say, what's my location? All right. And I'm going to say my location is Pleasant Hill. Okay. It's a town right next to me. And what you should know is you want to do this for every town. Mike here said, I want to dominate my farm area. There's probably one or two, right? I don't know if it's one zip code that you're only interested in, Mike, but for most realtors, there's 4 or 5 different cities that they're going to build their business in. If you're in a big metropolitan area like LA, there might be 4 or 5 different towns or adjacent towns or neighborhoods in LA. And you're not going to just do the whole thing because that traffic would just kill you. So when you're doing that, that is, you want to create one page like this for each area, okay? And as soon as you click and you save that area, that city, we drop you on this page, which is upload the image, right? Change the background. This background here, it's generic. We make it generic for agents so that they can just go out and use it and not have to do anything. We know that realtors don't really like to do anything. So I know you're not those groups because you're getting on these calls to learn, but most realtors don't even want to change a background picture. So we made it generic because everybody has a computer mostly, and most of them have a cup of coffee and they have a pencil and paper. That's kind of normal generic stuff. Unfortunately, it's so generic that it doesn't work. It just screams out, I'm gonna get spammed. I don't even know what this is if I see this anywhere, right? So you got to change the background picture. The easiest way to do that is to go to Google and just type in, whatever your town is, right? And then go to images. I'm going to move fast here. We have recordings on this and I don't want to burn up a ton of your time. Tools, size. You need something that's pretty big to fit in the back of this page here. And this is a good shot. This is the downtown. Pleasant Hill is not a big town, right? It's I'd say there's about 25,000, not even 30,000 people there. All right. And so you want something that kind of speaks to that area, right? To that town. And to kind of go down this path a little bit further, because realtors always get this kind of, when it comes to advertising, what kind of image should be in the background? There's all kinds of images. Some people put like a map of the area. Some people will do a search on their MLS and it'll show all the dots of where all the homes are for sale. And that's cool too. That can all work. Something else that works and worked really well for an office I set up in New Jersey was an image of a diner. That was the number one. So this, in Summit, New Jersey, I set this office up years ago. We did this call. Whenever I set up an office, I do 2 calls: how to use the core tools and how to run ads on Facebook. And a month later, the manager called me and said, this picture here is the number one seller lead capture image for us. Why? Because it tells everybody in Summit that you know my neighborhood. Because that's on Main Street. That's been there for 50 something years. Everybody, if you know this place, you know Summit. And that's what I'm trying to point out to you guys, that you don't want to run out on this, advertising to ask somebody their name, their address, and their phone number and contact information without any, amount of trust built. And very simply, what's going to make you feel a little bit better, that you actually know where I live, right? You know the town where I am. I could get a little bit smaller and home. There may be something, but actually Pleasant Hill, that little curve there, that's like the downtown mall that was all redone, and everybody in Pleasant Hill knows that. So if I ran this ad with that tool, that would definitely, that's going to work. Now, the other thing about this page, and where I think a lot of mistakes happen, are down here in this section. Facebook's share image, you don't need to worry about that. It is the lead form and text. You can kind of leave this alone. Recent home sales sold, that's going to affect your home value. Get one free. Form fields. Now, Facebook ad registration, this is page 1, get the value estimate. Do not use this. We added this. We should probably take it away because ever since the whole Russian scam on Facebook and the elections, people do not want to use that button, especially for seller lead gen. It's almost like the age bracket. They are not interested in using that as much as they were in the past, well, before all this nonsense. So use this form as it is by default. You just want the address. You don't, and if you're working in an area there's a lot of condos, well, you can show that. But page 2 is really, we're on page 1 here. Page 2 is where it is a big factor. Do you want the name? We just think the easiest way to capture leads is just ask for the email. Okay, it's saying here I want an email address. You could say, hey, I want to have a phone number. I'm going to make it optional. And if I do that, let's save it. It's going to make me think as a random consumer that I got to notice I'm saving it, and it's going to change it. Let's see if I'm back on page 2 yet. Yeah. It's your report is ready. I need your name and phone number. And boy, that's how you're going to get 1 or 2 leads. It's just even suggesting I got to give you the phone number to get a free home valuation. So I do not recommend that at all. And I kind of explained to you why. I'm going to go back and show you one more time because it's a big deal. You know, if you're spending a bunch of money on ads, there are new people, so I'm going to repeat it. If you're spending a bunch of money on ads and you require a phone number, you will not be getting 100 leads. You won't be getting 50 leads. You won't be getting 20. You will get 1 or 2 or 3 leads when running an ad and requiring a phone number. Okay, so that's just how it is. And this guy here is generating 117 leads. I know I'm repeating myself, guys. But here somebody's generating 305 leads in 2 weeks and has 7 listing appointments. Cody did not require a phone number. He captured the email and he started responding with real simple questions. Do you like that number? Did you do any remodels? Have you got a new kitchen? Did you do anything to your bathrooms? Are you really interested? Do you really need to have a real number? And that's why in 13 days, Cody can generate 305 seller leads and get 7 listing appointments and has 1 listing for $729 in 2 weeks, right? By just not requiring the phone number and doing a little conversion work, all right? So we've got our page set the way it should be. I've got the picture that I know everybody in Pleasant Hill is going to know. So now I'm going to go and close and go click here and go view. This page for me is ready to run. Now, there are a couple of mistakes you can make on Facebook. So if you're one of those agents that's distracted, you know, by just about everything, it's a good time to look and follow the steps. Copy the link and go to Facebook and go create ads, okay? And I'll kind of tell you at every step what's normal, what's kind of you always want to do, and then what's particular to sellers, to seller lead capture. And what is, whenever you're using our tools, and guys, we create a lot of tools to capture leads for you. And we have clients running ads all over the country every day of the week. And if something is changing, we know, okay? And there are a lot of smart people on the internet for real estate advertisement, right? There's a bunch of gurus, there's all the big companies that we all know and hear about all the time. And they tell you many different things. They'll tell you go to conversions, go to engagement, go to lead generation down here. But I'm going to tell you, if you're after a lot of leads, you always and only want to use traffic with our tools at Listings to Leads. That is the bottom line. Campaign name, change it. Give it a value, Pleasant Hill, the city, and the date, right? I'm calling it value because it's home values. It might be, you know, open house, Pleasant Hill, and the date, something like that. I see a question here. It's a good time to check that out. Let's see. Guys, if you have questions, lay it in. Let's see. Yeah, I've never acquired a phone number for, and the first I had 400 leads in 30 days, working on many of those leads. Awesome, George. That's the way to go. Will, good to see you back. No canned email drop if they request an estimate. Uh, I don't know. I don't, if they request an estimate, I would put them on a canned email drip. Definitely, right? And I would get them on that, and I would even reach out even more to say, hey, I'm a real person here, do you need some help? But definitely drip campaigns. Definitely, when these folks are generating 305 leads and they get 7 listing appointments, I guarantee you they're not throwing the other leads away. They are working on them. And that's what you want to do. You want to have a CRM going. So here's the power of Facebook, and whether you know it, I'm thinking you know it, but if you do not know it, let's just get into it right here. You type in the area that you want to target, as long as you can spell it, right? And Facebook is always, really gracious by saying, great, that's the area you're targeting, but what about, let's give you 25 miles more. And if you're marketing an open house, or you got something just listed or just sold, and if you're looking for listings, you want to market our tools as pending as just sold. I'll show you why in a little bit. But if you're going to do that, you might want to market 10 or 20 miles out. But when you're trying to get a listing lead, you want to make it only the current area. Now, there's a big discussion, if you know anything about Facebook advertising. A lot of people were going into the demographics. Sorry. And they were going into the demographics down here, and you could actually type in homeowners, right? And again, because of all this, hacking and Russian nonsense, Facebook is saying we're not going to make that kind of detail available to you. So as long as it is available to you, change this up here. Not to everyone in this location, but people who live in this location. You may not know if they're renters or buyers, but if they are renters, they're probably not going to click on what is my home worth, right? It's just, unless they're thinking of buying, right? Something like that. You don't want 18-year-olds. There aren't many 18-year-olds in my area, I'm in the Bay Area, that own a home. So you don't need those people to see it. But what this is doing is it's saying, if somebody lives in Pleasant Hill, in that town, and they're over 27 years old, they don't have to know me, they don't have to like my page, we don't have to be friends on Facebook. They just need to have their own Facebook account and be over 27 years old and live in Pleasant Hill. Well, then I want them to see this page. Okay? That's why Facebook is really, really crazy powerful. So I am going, so I know some of you run ads, so you totally know this. But for those of you that haven't, you need to know this. Now, here's another big deal. And this is brand new. It's a good reason to get on our calls all the time regarding Facebook. I've never seen this little thing before. New Instagram stories available in automatic placements. So we would think, it just defaults automatically, right? Just do it the way that they say it. Actually, if you're trying to get sellers, I recommend you do not go the automatic route. I recommend you say, hey, I want to edit placements and I only want it on desktop. This page is mobile optimized, but it gets squished down in a phone, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable looking on their phone and filling out a multi-page form. They just don't. I don't know if you do. I'm okay with it because I kind of live on my phone, but we know from all our experience that a lot of people will run an ad. If you go to our mastermind group, and you'll see people at least once a week, if not every 2 weeks, say, I ran an ad and I got 100 clicks on my ad and I got 1 lead. It's 2 things that make that happen. One is, what is it? You required a phone number. The second is you made it automatic placements so that it went on mobile. And if I just tell people, just take it off and put it on desktop only and run the same exact ad, boom, I got 50 leads, right? It's just that simple. Now, down here is the budget, lifetime budget or daily budget. Whatever it is, change it to lifetime budget. And what that means, I just set up an office in Southern California. I was down there last week in the agency. When's the best time? When is the best time to run an ad on Facebook, right? It's kind of a good question, but I don't know the answer. And I know this because we actually spoke with Facebook last year that if you used lifetime budget, that tells Facebook to place the money at the highest time where their highest traffic. Facebook knows because they've got all the fancy algorithms when everybody is on Facebook. I don't know, right? I just don't. And but they'll if you put lifetime budget, they're going to drop the money when most people are there. Now, here's another big deal. If you're looking for listing leads, I don't know why this does this. I keep getting this insane error. You want to start it on Friday. You always want to start capturing listing leads on Friday. Reset your start to yeah. What is that? Okay. It's really weird, guys. I'm sorry. There's something weird in this place that's we found more than one budget specified. I only see one place for a budget. Let's just change it to daily. Killing me. Sorry. Let's change it to lifetime. Okay. Change it back to 30. Let's see if they quit jerking me around here. No, see, they don't let me. But whatever it is, you want to start if you're trying to get listing leads, start it on Friday and end it the following Monday. I don't recommend running an ad for 30 days ever, okay? So you set it Friday to Monday, desktop only, and then you come to this page and you go single image ad. Now you want to choose your business page, right? And my real estate one fell off, so I got to add a new real estate one. But I'm going to use my healthy eating single image ads, okay? It's funny. Scott does these trainings more often than not, like 9 out of 10 times. And he knows, he's been telling our clients, do not use carousel because carousel looks good. It sounds good because all these images scroll through and you would think that makes sense. We get 0 results. And then Scott went and ran an ad for us for listings to leads and he used carousel and he got no results. And we're like, well, you know that. You say that every time. Why are you, what's going on? Anyway, the point is, unless you're good enough to put single video in there, use a single image, okay? And while it might be a little cheaper, 99.9% of our clients do an image ad and they get huge results. So just keep it simple. Down here, it says, what's the website URL? Where are you driving the traffic to? I want to drive it right here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste this right here. Click that little red button and that kind of pushes the page into the desktop. And it shows you a picture that you put there, right? So here's the thing. You want to change this language, and this is why I want you guys to all be in the mastermind group, because every once in a while, somebody puts something in that group that's just kind of astounding, right? And let me see if I can jump over. I'll show you something real quick. We have an even super private group, even sneakier than the one like our mastermind. But it's only for us. And we share some things, internally in the company. And I shared something there last week that came in from one of our clients, and I want to share that with you. So this guy did a just listed ad. It's not a homeowner's ad, right? It's not trying to get listings. But what Jeffrey told us is he said he ran this ad for free and he got like 171 leads in 6 hours. And what it is and why I'm even bringing you here, it's these emojis. You see this unicorn and this house and the little golf flag and all these things. This might sound silly, and I've almost resisted talking about it to clients, but I keep seeing it over and over in our mastermind group. is that people who put these goofy emojis in their tools, they actually get, it just slows our eyes down, right? If people are on Facebook 45 minutes a day, zipping through it on their phone or on their desktop or whatever. And if you have these little goofy things, it slows me down just long enough to go, oh, okay. And that's the whole point of this. I have a little add-on up here. So if I want to type something, I can just go, hey, click my little emoji deal. I use Google Chrome. It was some kind of add-on. And I could say, hey, you know, I want to put this cool emoji in. And that's it. And well, I had to hit enter and it would have worked. but that's how you add an emoji, and you can do that. And I, as silly as it sounds, I recommend it. But actually, more importantly, is this language. This is our default language. Recent home sales have affected your home value. That's genius, but it actually rarely gets clicked. You do have to change something. And my recommendation, I'm going to write it down right here for you. And you'll see that our clients do this very frequently. They write these exact letters. 40 homes sold in Pleasant Hill last month. The high was, I don't know what it was, but let's just say it was 500K. Click here to get your automated online home value in less than 15 seconds free. Now you could add some emojis in there, but even without emojis, that sentence right there gets people to click, right? If they own a home, they get, you know, that tends to work. Notice down here it says, what is your pleasant? That's not that useful. I would call it, I would change it. I'd just go here and I'd back it out and I'd say free Pleasant Hill home values. Okay. And whatever I type in that box shows up underneath here. And notice what I typed up there. Now, again, I keep, you know, harping about this mastermind group. People put in a lot, at least every week, somebody is saying, here's my ad, here's what I wrote, here was my demographics, here's what I spent, and here's how many leads I got. And I recommend you get in there and look at that. So let's look here at the questions. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. FB ads equal next month. A lot of demographics going away. Use Realist to find homeowner info. Yeah, I've heard that too, Will. You can that is a heavy lift. What Will is saying is you can buy a list of homeowners and you can still target them inside Facebook using Facebook as the launch pad, right? It's a little bit techie, but it does work. Will, here's the one thing, no Instagram placement either, waste of money. I wish I could show you. Scott knows how to do this. Facebook, like 2 weeks, or not Facebook, Instagram 2 weeks ago created a button on the ads on Instagram that says learn more. And this is something brand new. Slava, if you go into our mastermind group, let's see if I can get over there right now. And I actually need to get on a phone call with Slava. She has been taking tools and putting them right on her business page. So I'm showing you how to run an ad, right? And I by all means want you to run ads the way I'm describing to you. But Slava said, yeah, you know, I've been taking my tools and let's see, yeah, I think here. And they're put, yeah, maybe I can see it right here. Now you might not be able to see it, but just putting an ad without even promoting. And here she's actually promoting. You can see the picture here. It says learn more. So I actually did get on the phone with Slava a couple weeks ago, and she said, Vince, I'm not even running ads. I'm not even boosting. I'm just pasting it on my business page, and Facebook is pushing it to Instagram for free, and it has a learn more. And when you click learn more, and I actually went and found it on Instagram, it opens up the landing page. So Will, and you know what? I give this presentation all over the place. I go to offices and they always ask me about Instagram. I just say, it ain't happening. It's great to build a network. It's lame for capturing leads. But I just learned something from Slava just a couple of weeks ago that she's getting listing leads for free by just putting that landing page for free on her business page. And Facebook is just pushing it over with a little button that says learn more that opens up the page. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Well, yeah, you can wait for him, but I'm actually gonna get on a call with Slava. We said we'd do it together, and then I'll put it up in the mastermind group. But I did speak to her, and she was telling me what she decided. I said, well, let's kind of do it like this so we can all see it together. Add me to the Element Beta group. Yeah, Will, that's just for clients. Emojis difference. Yeah, they work. So Will is backing us up here. The emojis work. So that's that part there. So let's go back to where we were. That's how we run an ad. If you don't know how to run or you haven't run this ad before, I want to tell you, when you click confirm, you're going to get a message kind of immediately saying, hey, we're going to review that and then we'll make it live. That's from Facebook to you. At the end of the ad, Facebook is going to say, great, congratulations, you ran a successful ad on Facebook. And what that means is you succeeded in giving Facebook money. It does not mean you succeeded in getting any leads. And I want to point out what usually is wrong, why you're not capturing leads. One is your picture is typically not kind of, engaging enough to slow me down and I know your area. The language that you wrote up top is not really that compelling either. And then the other we went through before is you made it on mobile. And so mobile, they clicked, but they just went away because it was too complicated on their phone. And then the last thing is if you required a phone number, it's just not going to really work that well. So that's how you create the landing page. We walked through how to create it, how to customize it. The other thing I want to let you guys know, and I said it earlier, is when you're marketing a home, if you come to us and you're marketing your homes and you see our great open house, tools, and you've heard we got single property websites and virtual tours and we auto upload to YouTube, that's all cool stuff. But a lot of people just don't follow through and say, well, what about pending and just sold? And pending and just sold advertising are awesome for clients for two reasons. The single property websites are designed to capture listing leads. So if we go here and you have a property that's just sold, I recommend you market the single property website. Change it to single property website right here. Click this share to Facebook, share it to Twitter, share it to LinkedIn. Definitely share it to LinkedIn. We got clients getting the listings out there. But the reason being is that the lead capture form that automatically pops up is designed to capture listings, because people who click on just sold homes are typically thinking, hey, I got I'm owning a home and I'm just curious about that. So it's going to say this home sold, it's going to affect your home value. And then this, you recognize it's how to get the listing lead. Now, if it's pending, the message will say something like this home is pending, but when it closes, it's going to affect your home value. So fill this out, right? And that is the point of just sold and just impending advertising. I recommend that you run those ads the same way. The only difference is, I said originally you have to when you're running a Pleasant Hill home value like that. I said, well, they have to live in Pleasant Hill, right? But now if your marketing is just sold, I think you want to market at least a 10-mile radius, because you want lots of people to know that you can sell a home. This ad, if you're running a single property website, I typically suggest minimum $5 a day, 4 days, $20. Um, and that's kind of it. I recommend these are the tools that you're using when you're trying to get listings. Let's go back, and here's the other thing that people, I think we need to rewrite this message. These tools go to you automatically at every status. If your MLS doesn't send us this just sold status, then you got to go in and change your status on the listings page. But I would say this is one of those tools that is ignored by the bulk of our clients, definitely the majority of the clients. And all they have to do is copy what's between the red lines and send it to their client and say, hey, can you, now that we just sold your home, would you mind putting this on your wall? And all you're asking that client to do is copy and paste like I've just done here. So let's give it a second. And we'll click post. Now I'm pushing this out there, right? It's me, Vincent Meza, putting it on my page. So it doesn't maybe make sense, but this should really be coming from your client saying they want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. And here is your phone number and email address. So it's a pre-written testimonial as soon as you sell the home. And as soon as you change the status to sold, which you can do right on the listings page, I definitely recommend you change the status to either pending or just sold. As soon as you do that, we're going to send you these tools. And when we send that tool to you, just forward it to your client. Maybe clean out all the extra stuff that Scott has written there. And say, hey, could you just put that? And I would literally, every time you get this, I would send it to your clients and call your clients. It would take you 5 seconds to say, I just sent you something for Facebook and a flyer. Would you forward that flyer on? Would you put that on Facebook? Because now all of my friends, and in my case, it's my friends, but in your case, it's going to be all the friends and the family and the colleagues of your clients who know that you were their realtor and that you sold their home and that you did an excellent job and they got your name and phone number right there. Now, if they happen to click on it because there's just more curiosity, what happens? It opens up the single property website, right? And what happens 5 seconds later? A pop-up for a free home value pops up 5 seconds later. So these are great tools for you to capture listing leads. You don't have to just use Facebook. I do recommend the other social media platforms. In terms of like click-throughs on platforms, I'll tell you, Pinterest is number 2, and it's not something that many realtors even know. Our clients do post on Twitter. I don't hear a lot about Twitter in terms of lead gen. I hear a lot about it in the news, but so maybe it's wise, since everybody knows about it, that you can say, yeah, I market your home on Twitter, right? Just from a listing presentation standpoint. I can tell you this, Google, nobody really knows about, Google Plus, but half the people in the country probably, that have smartphones have an Android phone, and that's a Google system. But LinkedIn, we're definitely hearing about lead gen, both buyers and sellers. So I would recommend you get some tools out there every now and then. Guys, that's kind of my story. Let's hear, if you got questions, now would be a good time. I got a question on the forum field required. I forgot to put in required on all the forums when I posted on Facebook. If I save it, will it update? Yes. Albert, you may have missed my beginning of this class. If you're requiring a phone number, you're going to shoot your lead gen right in the foot. The only thing that we recommend that you require is an email address. And actually, that's the only thing we want you to show on that form is an email address, because anything else is going to slow down the process. Guys, are there any more questions? Because that's my story. Albert, why is that? Why is that? Here's a good example. You must have gotten on really late, because this is the 3rd time I'm talking about it today. This client here generated 305 seller leads in 2 weeks. He tells you what he paid, and he could not generate 305 seller leads in 2 weeks if he required a phone number. If he was lucky, he might generate 5 leads in 2 weeks if he required a phone number. He would have to be really lucky. And he took all those leads, and in the same 2 weeks got one listing for $729,000 and has 7 other listing appointments. You cannot do that with 1 lead or 2 lead or 5 leads. You need a lot of leads to convert to get into 7 listing appointments. In this case, it was 305. Okay? So I know there are a lot of realtors out there that feel like, yeah, and well, people don't want you to call them, but they're interested in their home value. Why? Maybe they want to sell their home, right? I am going to put this recording on YouTube, and I'll put it in our mastermind group. I can't get a hold of them through email. I think you want to work on your email drip campaign, Albert. You got to find a way. Conversion is, and this is real sales training. This isn't just real estate. If somebody responds to you in email, you want to respond in email till they're comfortable to get to a phone call. If they respond in text, you respond until they're comfortable enough to get through the next level, which is a phone call, right? Or a meeting. Go stalk them at their house. Will is saying, go trespass. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. Okay. Here's a great question. John, use Facebook registration always. That does not work in seller lead gen. We actually are seeing that as killing seller lead gen. I can tell you this, and I'm going to slow down here, guys, and go backwards. Okay, what's that? Give me a second, guys. I'm lost. Let's just go to, because actually we saw something very dramatic, and to explain this, I'm going to go to my open house listing landing page. And while I'm going there, I'm going to repeat what Will wrote here. Until they know, like, and trust you, they don't want to talk to you. And that totally is true. This one I'm showing you is a listing landing page of an open house of a listing. All you got to do is save the open house, and we create this automatically for you. And this is the Facebook registration button. And John is saying use it always. And I got to tell you, John, for you, it might be working still. But when it comes to seller lead capture, it's really dropped off a cliff. Okay? And I don't know if it's the demographics. I don't know if it's in areas where you're more college educated. But we can tell in seller lead gen that if you ask somebody to click that button, and watch what happens here. We've been on the call. Exactly. Yeah, I know, Will. I know. But let me just explain. If I'm going to click this button, so if you guys don't know what happens, a little window is going to pop up, and that's listings to leads reaching into Facebook. Now, in the past, if you'd been on this call before, we've been talking for less than an hour. I've already had to hit this button. I've had to log in 3 times in an hour. In the past, they have cookies, right? And these cookies mean it's a little chip on your computer, and it tells me that, oh, they've already logged into Facebook. We know that they like that, right? Well, it's those chips on the computer that Russians were using to scam people and move elections, and that's what's going on, and that's why they removed it. And so when somebody is now saying, oh, I got to log into Facebook, boy, they just leave. They just don't even want to mess with that, right? So it's killing it. It's killing the seller lead capture. It may still be working for the buyer side. So I actually really like it. But we saw it drop off. So I just want to caution you on that. I wish I had another example. Let's see if I can go to edit and change the preferences here. Advanced settings. Enable. Yeah, so if I take this off and I refresh this, that form now looks like this. Just type in your name and email, right? And I'm showing phone number, but I wouldn't even recommend it. That's what it is. So for buyer lead capture, I still think Facebook registration works out really well. But we have seen a lot of our clients are coming back and saying, that Facebook seller lead, that Facebook connection button is done. It's especially on the seller side. So think about that. Okay, I would take an email address over phone number any day. Plus, and I think he's going to say it here, if you're asking for somebody's phone number, it's going to be bogus a majority of the time. And plus, yeah, most leads won't even give an accurate phone number, but they'll give a valid email address. Then follow up with a CRM, and it works beautifully. George, that is exactly right. In regards to asking or placing your phone number on your ads, most consumers know that they will be inundated with phone calls. Right. Yeah. So I just don't recommend, ask. I just don't recommend ask. If you require a phone number, we just see lead gen just go through the floor. I just signed up last week. I received 4 leads, but they're partial leads. I signed up for a week. How can I access for my partial leads? Type in the address of the leads that you got into your home value, because now you're going to be like the consumer, and all you got to do is type in the address and walk away, and it will give you that information automatically, Albert. Okay. But again, where you have a property valuation landing page, that's where you got the leads from. It just open up the page. If you go to landing pages and open up any one of your Property Valuation Plus landing pages, now that you subscribe to the Cole partial converter, all you got to do is drop in an address and it will kick out their deeper contact info as long as Cole has it. Okay. Okay. Wait, say it again. Open up any of your property valuation landing pages plus and drop in the address. You have the leads already, so you know that. Cole is great, guys. If you don't know what Cole is, on this section here on the landing page says that subscribe to the partial to full lead converter. Check it out. And then it takes us to the section where you subscribe it. And I'm pretty sure, let's just confirm, we've got some, yeah, we can learn more about it right here. What this is, it's an integration with Cole Information Systems. And Cole Information is an online phone book, so to speak, of homeowners. So it has their names, their contacts, their phone numbers, sometimes their cell numbers. Somebody called me and said it had the license VIN number for one of their cars, right? So there's just all kinds of data that they have on these people. But many times they're going to have the last sale value too. So it's a good piece. It's a good tool. It's automatically integrated in our system. If you've got a solid, if you're trying to get listing leads, and a lot of our clients feel like getting a lot of listing leads is important, I definitely recommend that you're using Cole, because it's gonna help you. Everybody, are there any more questions? Because I gotta wrap up this call. I will get it online. I'm going to give you one more tip. If you have not joined our mastermind group, go to your Facebook, click on this page, right, this little button up here, and go to settings. And when you go to settings, there's this page right here. And it says your primary contact email is whatever it is. Take that email address and go into listings to leads and go to support and type in that email address in this box and just say, please add me to the mastermind group. And we will put that in Facebook, and Facebook will send you an invite to that. So guys, I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for joining me again. And get into this. Thanks, Ali. Get into Facebook. I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you because I hear all these crazy things all the time from realtors. Facebook is not played out. I've had people say, oh, there's agents all over the place. And you know what? Every week I got somebody saying, I just generated 100 seller leads. And the reason being is they are following the instructions I just gave you on this call. So everybody, good luck with all this. Get good at Facebook. And not only Facebook, use all of our tools. Just, God, this listings task list, just learn how to get there. It'll take you 5 or 10 minutes to go through a task list at every status. Tons of reach. A lot of ways of capturing leads. All right, everybody. Take it easy. I'll get this recording up online for you and in the mastermind group today. Bye-bye.